listen to your heart. Mirror, mirror, the reflection of the love.
Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to my trading channel. I hope you guys have been having some good trades, having a good time. We are officially in spring, which means that the markets are going to be moving super nicely, and it's always important that you are prepared for when the markets are moving in their kind of optimum state. I absolutely love trading between March and October. Those are like my prime. I say that as if I've been trading for years, and I absolutely haven't. However, this kind of window is my favorite point of the year to actually be trading quite intensely. And one of the most important things in order to grow your accounts is knowing actually what your targets are. I find that a lot of people out there on the interweb these days are kind of just, you know, trading blindly, setting trades, having TPs, having stop losses, but not actually documenting their growth, documenting their journey, or even having like basic projections as to where they want to be at the end of each week, end of each month, end of each quarter. Do you know what I mean? So I thought that I would jump off of TikTok, because you guys know I've been hanging out on there quite a lot, and jump back onto YouTube to do another growth plan. Just a lorry. To do another growth plan with you. You guys really like the growth plan that I did like a year ago, and we're going to do one that's a little bit more focusing on projections. So I'm going to show you again how I document my trades, or well, in relation to this very basic kind of spreadsheet. The ones that I use are a little bit more intense, whereas the ones that I'm going to be doing for you guys are kind of like the basic ones. They're going to be much easier for you to kind of copy and replicate. And I'm going to share my screen with you. Hopefully that's going to work. We'll see, because you defo can't see from here. In terms of trades that I'm in at the moment, I'm currently in a Euro GBP pair. I've actually been doing a lot of early mornings, a lot of early morning homework. And I will just also say, if you are coming into the world of trading and you are not prepared to get up early and do homework and do back testing and take your screenshots, then maybe Forex trading isn't the thing for you. This really is a labor of love. And, you know, I always say that trading is super straightforward. Anybody can trade, you know, like I'm helping 10-year-olds at the moment. However, is it just me or is it super dark? But it does take a lot of work to really understand how these markets work and why the banks move money in the way that they do. I mean, you can't even really see, but this is currently what I'm looking at the moment. Oh, no, you really can't see. So I am currently in this Euro GBP trade. Prices come up really nicely and touch me into this market so that I can quite nicely enjoy this ride down, at which point I will then take another entry, move into the upside. Again, this is all pendings. This is kind of like the smart money concept. You guys know that I love trading harmonics and DeLorean, but this is a little bit of smart money, purely because, you know, having separate accounts means that you can diversify your trading style and grow different accounts at different rates and take different profits at different times. So I'm going to share my screen with you now so that you guys can see what I'm doing and kind of follow along, okay? How shall I do this? Okay, I'm gonna do a bit of both here. If I move back, there we go. I've got my coffee. Nice. Welcome to my office. The 90-day growth plan that I use is pretty intense, and this is the one that everybody in the Trade Creators team gets, kind of like as a standard. But the one that I'm going to be showing you today is going to be a lot more straightforward, and I'm not going to make this too sexy. I'm going to give you just like the basic maths, so then you can make this really pretty by yourselves, okay? So all we're going to do is start off with a few things. So your starting bank is really important. And let's say you're going to start with £200 because that's kind of like a standard internationally. And then you need to think about what is your desired weekly growth rate, or maybe perhaps a daily growth rate. So let's say if you wanted your daily growth rate to be, you know, 1% daily growth, or let's say maybe 2% daily growth. That means that by the end of the week, or the end of the trading week at least, your account will have grown by 10%. Does that make sense? So that by the end of the month, you would like to hit maybe your next £100 target. So we're looking at a growth to get us up to £300, okay? And again, just to let you guys know, this is not a daily compounding planner, okay? This is a little bit different. If you want me to create a compounding planner, then I absolutely can show you that in a different video. This is just kind of like a basic framework in order to kind of have your projections for the future. Does that make sense? I prefer to use daily compounding planners, but again, this is just super simple for you guys on the YouTube who are absolute brand stinking new. So what I'm doing here is I'm just putting the date and the end of day balance for you to then put in at the end of your trading day, just that you can monitor your growth over a period of time, monitor your growth and or your losses, right? So what I'm doing here is just inputting your projected targets for the end of each week. So this is just saying that if you grow your account by 10% No. 2 times 5 is 20%.
Bruh.
No, 10% growth. What? So let's say you wanted to grow your account super slowly, and every single day you're only aiming to make a 1% target, okay? Okay, so what we're gonna do is to try and put some formulas into here that will automatically update as you input in your growth planner, okay? So your end of day balance is going to equal your starting bank plus 1% of that size. So what you're going to need to do is, okay, let's say for example, we times this by 1%. We want to identify what 1% of 200 is. Okay, great, that's £2. Oh, no, thank you. But what we want to do is see what £200 is plus that profit that you've made. So what we're going to do is just then put in here again, we're going to turn this into a little formula here. And then we're going to put in your starting bank again, plus this additional bit of growth. So now it says end of day balance is £202, okay? So now we're going to do the same thing for day 2. And if you want, you can actually just drag this down. And then if you look in here, okay, the whole formula has shifted down. So this is where you need to go in and do a little bit more jigging around in order to make this work properly for you. So we need to change this because that is still our starting bank balance. We want to change this now because this is now our starting bank balance. And we also need to change that too, because we always have to remember that the first numbers are always going to be our starting balance. And then we're going to change this because that has shifted down, oops, to the 1%. And what you can do to ensure that these numbers don't move is put a $sign on the B and the 4, or however you're placing it. Put a $sign around the credentials of the cell that has the percentage in, because as we're shifting this around, we don't want that to move. So the $signs kind of anchor the formula in place. And then we need to change our starting bank, is now going to be this. Okay, and now we can continue to drag this down. And what I'm going to do is now take this all the way down to the end of the month, because we want to see how many days it's going to take us until we hit that £300 target, okay? Also, we have to bear in mind that Saturdays and Sundays we're not trading it unless you trade cryptocurrencies. I love trading cryptocurrencies on the weekend. It's kind of like my treat. So even though, yes, I am I'm hodling, trust me, I do like to day trade cryptocurrencies on the weekend because trading is so much fun once you get to know what you're doing. And because I'm so focused on trading Forex during the week, because that is kind of like my main money maker, Forex, commodities, blah, 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 which is why crypto is like a fun thing I get to enjoy on the weekends. I don't know. So make sure you kind of blank out what the weekends are going to be. So Saturday and Sunday is the 10th and the 11th. So I would mark those in grey. And then what you're going to have to do again is just do another rejig, right? So take that out, and you're going to have to set this up for the Friday. So we're going to go back in, we're going to take out that one, we're going to put it back to the Friday, the same as this one as well, okay? And then it just continues. So you're going to have to do this quite intensely, and once you've done one copy of this, you can then duplicate it and duplicate it so that you're working across the months, right? So let's say your end of week target balance is, or you can just put the formula in yourself. So this is going to take just a little bit more brain power, okay? So you do equals, then you have your starting bank, and if you want to identify, we just want to check if our maths is right, you can then do times 1.05 because that is what 1% growth over 5 days would look like as a percentage. Okay, great, 210, 210. So we know that our maths is right. So, and then what we want to do is replicate this over the week. So again, you can then copy and paste this formula, but it's just going to look a little bit different because everything has shifted. So now we take out that initial starting bank there, and we're going to use week 1 as our starting bank, times that by 5 days worth of 1% growth. There we go. And again, what you can see here is because we've now got that additional 1 on the end here, it's almost done like a little compound because we're growing 5% of week 1's results. Does that make sense? And then you can just drag it down, so that by the end of week 4, we're still not quite at that £300 target. Let's see how long it's going to take for us to actually hit that £300 target. Okay, nice. So what it's saying is that if we continue to do a daily growth percentage of 1% in relation to the week prior, then you're going to hit your £300 target in around 9 weeks, okay? If you are spending quite a bit of time trading, or maybe you have a strategy that's quite fast paced, so maybe you are a scalper and you're still mitigating your risk, right? Maybe you're doing 1% risk or 0.5% risk, whatever your trading strategy allows and your R to R allows, then there is no reason as to why you can't hit these targets faster, okay? However, what I will say is slow and steady. Do not rush. When you start to put pressure on yourself and start rushing, that is when you start to make silly mistakes, and then we start to lose trades, and then our traders' psychology gets in the way, and then we'd say, oh, trading doesn't work, and we throw our toys out the pram, right? Or maybe you've had 5 great trades in a row, or maybe even 3 great trades in a row, and now suddenly you think you're a boss man and that you can dominate these markets. Absolutely not. Humility is so incredibly important when it comes to doing your Forex trading. Every trade is new, every trade come in with the same attitude, the same energy. Do you know what I mean? So let's say, for example, if I hit a take profit, I'm like, okay, great, what's next? If I hit a stop loss, I'm like, okay, great, what's next? Because I try not to put too much emotion behind my trading. As soon as you become an emotional trader, you've kind of gotten into some risky territory, whether it's in a good way or a bad way. So I like to think of myself as a trading robot, and to just kind of focus on practicing the skill well, marking up my setups really, really well, being disciplined with my entry, being disciplined with my exits, because that, as default, will pay you in the long run. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Let's do one more. And then again, we've got Saturday, Sunday. And let's say, for example, this isn't looking particularly cute, but whatever. You guys can play with this and do with it what you want. I kind of like to make mine look a little bit sexy. I mean, you guys can literally zhuzh this up in any way, shape or form that you like. Add in your colors, add in your whatever. But this is just one way to project your growth. And then also you can then do actual balance on the end here. So then maybe you actually only got £201 and 60 pence, right? So let's say you didn't even hit that target. Well, then you still know that you need to hit £204 the next day. So what can you do? Okay, so you continue on putting in your actual balance, that you maintain your practice of documentation, and then also on a separate sheet, document your individual trades, put your screenshots in there, have everything all in one place. So then let's say by the end of the week you hit £203, so you're still a bit behind. Maybe you hit £207, you had a really great day. Maybe you went up to 210, and then maybe you went back down to 209 because you had a few losses, right? Then we can see, okay, so you're actually behind £1 on your trading growth plan. Well, what do? You commit to your growth plan and you top up. You deposit that £1 to make sure that you are on track to hit your long-term targets. By doing things in this way, this means that regardless of what happens, you will hit that £300 by the end of your 9 weeks. Or let's say your daily growth rate is 3%. So 3 times 5 is 15. And then we're just going to drag this down to week 10. So that means if you're doing 3% daily growth, aiming to do a 15% compounded growth on the weekly, that you should hit your £300 target by the end of your 3rd week. And maybe let's say you've been doing the work, drip feeding, you're still not there yet. You can top up to ensure that you hit that target. Stay committed to your growth plan, because regardless, you're going to be developing your skill, doing the skill well as a means of priority, and also drip feeding and growing your account at the same time in order to hit your targets, so that by the time you're on that £1,000 account size, you're going to be able to not only be a much better and sophisticated trader, but you will actually hit that target and have a lot more to leverage, right? We're not paying our bills with £200. So it's about building up your capital so that by the time you have a £1,000 account, something you can actually leverage properly and also take withdrawals, right? Take your weekly withdrawals. You can be learning and growing your account at the same time so that you can actually party when you get to that nice target that you're thinking of. So let's say 3% daily growth, you're going to hit your £1,000 target in the space of 12 weeks. Okay, so guys, that is pretty much it for today. I hope that wasn't too confusing. I know I speak really fast, so please, by all means, hit that pause button and watch this again and again and again. And of course, make this plan as sexy as you like. It really doesn't matter how it looks. What matters is that you are being very rigorous and dedicated and strict with your documentation, and you're also putting in your analysis as well. Putting in your results and your notes is a massive part of the Forex trading journey. You know, it's very easy to just place a trade and let it go, but then when you look back over your trading history, you're going to be like, oh, I don't remember this trade, why did it do so well? You know, or even why did it hit stop loss, what did I do wrong, or what, you know, what happened in the market that I can then do some post analysis work on, you know. I feel like I really rattled through that, but it's also because I'm having to head out. I'm going to Canary Wharf today to do some trading in the tower. In terms of the merchandise is coming. It's actually been delivered to my home already. 3 big boxes. I'm very excited. I've also printed some stickers. Do you guys want to see? Guys, I printed stickers. Ooh, Trade Creative stickers to say thank you. So all I need to do now is cut these out, which I'm kind of nervous about. Ooh. Don't know how well that's going to work, but you know, the merch journey is happening and we're still getting there. Looking forward to seeing what I can kind of turn over it, because I did use my trading profit to actually invest in this merchandise. So let's see if we can actually get this stuff out of there. Also, maybe I should do a whole other video on NFTs. I think I'm going to do a whole other video on NFTs because I've been thinking about NFTs. Okay. Little cliffhanger there for you guys, but I'm gonna love you and leave you. If I don't see you on Instagram or on TikTok or on YouTube on a live or in the chats, I will see you probably out there on the Forex market or on a Zoom call really soon. Have a great trading week, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Listen to your heart, mirror the reflection of the law.